Can Kyle Kuzma really be the Lakers' third star, or is he better as that sixth man coming off the bench? We are going to be discussing all of that and more today on Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han. Now that we are getting so close to the season starting, we are going to start doing these Laker player previews, and we are kicking the player previews off today with my main man, Kyle Kuzma. But before we get into Kuz's player preview, I want to make sure that you are subscribed, so hit that bell notification down below to make sure that you are subscribed not only to Chat Sports, but the new Lakers Chat Sports YouTube channel as well, so you do not miss a single second when it comes to our Los Angeles Lakers. And while you're at it, go ahead and give me a follow both on my Instagram at HannahRoseKulik and my Twitter at Hannah_Kulik. Now, Kyle Kuzma's NBA career has really been somewhat of a storybook. It really just seems like it's fresh out of a movie. You know, the Lakers selected him with their 27th overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and when they picked him, you know, a lot of people were upset. A lot of fans felt that they should have gone with another player like Jordan Bell, for instance, and no one really knew who he was. No one expected him to be this great player, really be a key to the Lakers' future, but here we are. Kyle Kuzma has really turned heads the second he entered the league. Really, honestly, since he played for the Lakers in that 2017 Summer League, when he helped that Summer League team go and win the Summer League championship. And it only continued. You know, his rookie season, he really excelled. He set a Lakers record in most threes made by a rookie. He actually shot 37% from three his rookie season. He averaged 16 points and 6 rebounds. It was pretty clear that not only was he a star on the court, but he was also a star off the court, and he instantly became a fan favorite. Now, this past season, he had just as an impressive season. He averaged 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, and not only that, but he also played during NBA All-Star Weekend in the NBA Rising Stars game with all of the other top young players, and he was MVP of that game. So there is really no denying that Kyle Kuzma has a bright future, but this season, this upcoming year, could really be that make or break year from him. This could be this season that really propels his career and fools him into full-blown stardom, or of course, it could really deter his career and he could always just kind of be known as a Jordan Clarkson type player, a guy who got off to this great start, had a lot of potential, but never really fully achieved that potential. Obviously, us Laker fans and us Kyle Kuzma fans, like myself included, do not want that to happen. We want Kuz to be that third star for the Lakers. So this offseason, he has had to put in a ton of work, which obviously, if you know Kuz, you know who he does. He kills it during the offseason, and this offseason was no different. He has been working out with Lethal Shooter to get his three-point shot back up. Like I mentioned, his rookie season, he shot 37% from three, but this past year, we actually saw that dip down to 30%. So he's been working with Lethal Shooter in order to get that up. Lethal Shooter has only had amazing things to say. Besides his offensive game that he's been working on, he's also been working on his defense. Of course, he instilled in the help of Meta World Peace to help him defensively. He's also had some really highly publicized, workouts with Carmelo Anthony. So he's been lifting, he's been in the gym. It seems like almost every single time you look on Kyle Kuzma's social media, he's working out in some way, shape, or form. So Kuz has really been putting in the work this offseason. And of course, like I said, there are a lot of expectations for him this year. He knows that this is such an important season for him. So he's been putting in the work. He's been really working on his game because a lot of things have to happen if he is going to be that Lakers third star. Now, I personally believe that Kyle Kuzma can be that third star for the Lakers, but I am curious, do you guys agree with me? Do you think Kuz can be the Lakers third star this season? If you do, type Y down below. If not, type N down below. Now, before we break this all down and discuss what he needs to do in order to be that third star and have a successful season this year, I am curious, do you guys have a FanDuel account? If you do not yet have a FanDuel account, go ahead and message me right now on my Instagram and or my Twitter, because I am just new to FanDuel as well, and I am starting my own NFL league, and I would love to have my Laker fam on my league and on my team with me. So if you do not yet have a FanDuel account, go ahead and message me. I will explain to you how you can get one. It is so easy, you guys. It is free. So go So message me, I will explain to you how you can set it all up and then how you can join my NFL league. But let's move on and let's break down what Kyle Kuzma really needs to do, what he needs to have improved on this season in order to have that breakout year and really be that third star for the purple and gold. Now, looking at Kuz's game, obviously there are a plethora of things that need to happen in order for him to really be propelled into that stardom. But the two main keys, when you were just breaking down Kuz's game, the two things that he really needed to work on, the two keys to his season this year, is that three-point shot. Again, like I mentioned, his rookie season, that was one of his, bread and butters. A lot of people were really surprised at how well he shot that three. He averaged 37% from three. But then, of course, last season, we did see that number dip a little bit, and he averaged 30%. Now, if he wants to be a star, he's going to have to get that number back up to 37%, or, of course, even better, back up to 38%, which, of course, is why he's been putting in so much work with Lethal Shooter. Now, another key to Kyle Kuzma's season this year is his defense. That is something that he has needed to improve on. It's something that I personally believe he did improve on a lot last year, but of course, he always needs to continue to improve on. We know he's been working hard on that. As well as he's, working out with Lethal Shooter, he also instilled the help of Meta World Peace to help become a better defender. So we know Kuz is really putting in the work on the defensive end and really trying to be a better defender overall. But three-point shot and his defense are two of the biggest keys for Kyle Kuzma's season this year. Now, another thing that we have to discuss about Kuz in this season is the fact that it appears there are going to be some hurdles, and it's kind of something that Kuz has really struggled with ever since entering the league, and that is that he has always played on a team where the Lakers' top players were also forwards and played that same position. Last year we saw this with LeBron James and Brandon Ingram, who were the two Laker forwards, and Kuz was kind of always having to play out of position. We saw him having to play center, shooting guard, kind of just any spot that was really available, and obviously, especially when Kuz had to get those minutes at that center last year, we did see him struggle. But this year, it really is no different. The Lakers' two best players and two of just the best players in the league that happen to be on the Lakers are also forwards, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So Kuz is going to have to kind of get minutes wherever there is availability, and obviously the coaching staff knows this. They want to play Kuz, so we are most likely going to again have to see him play out of position this year. It could be interesting, unless LeBron James is that starting point guard and then Kuz gets those minutes as that small forward, his natural position. But if not, Kuz could get some minutes at that center spot again. If Dwight Howard is not on the floor or JaVale McGee is not on the floor, we could also see Kuz get some minutes at shooting guard. So of course this isn't the most ideal situation, but as we all know, Kuz is a team player. He really is willing to play in wherever he needs to and play whatever role the Lakers ask of him. But it does bring up a lot of question marks because obviously it is not the best case scenario for a guy who's really hoping to have a breakout season, really be a star, if you're playing out of position all year. Then of course there are the questions as to whether or not Kuz is going to be in that starting lineup on opening night, or if he's going to take on more of a sixth man type of role and come off the bench. I personally think that Kuz should be a starter, but I'm curious, what do you guys think is best for this team? Do you think Kuz should be coming off the bench or he should be a starter? If you think he should be a starter, type S down below, or if you think he should come off the bench, type B down below. Now, this is really the biggest question mark when it comes to Kuz this season, is what is his role going to be with this Lakers team? Is he going to be a starter or is he going to come off the bench? I think a lot of people, myself included, just assume that he would be in that starting lineup. It just really seemed like, especially, a guy who's projected to be your third option would be in that starting lineup, but it is really kind of seeming like that's not going to be the case, especially since Anthony Davis has come out and said multiple times he does not really want to play center. So he's not going to be the Lakers starting center like I think a lot of people assumed AD would be. Instead, he's going to be playing more minutes as that power forward at that 4 position. So there really is that, big question to where Kuz fits in that starting lineup. The only real way I could see it happening is if LeBron James is that starting point guard. But then again, we have a lot of other problems if that's the case, more so on the defensive end. I guess you could then argue that, okay, maybe then Danny Green isn't a starter, he comes off the bench, and then Kyle Kuzma gets minutes as that shooting guard in that starting lineup. But I don't really know if that's the best case for us. So it's kind of starting to look like Kuz may be coming off the bench. LeBron and Anthony Davis are most likely going to play, 35 minutes per night. And if we want Kyle Kuzma to also play 35 minutes as well, it's going to have to be him playing kind of these random roles, whatever spot is available, which of course is not an ideal situation, especially for a guy who you want to be a future star for you, a guy who you really want to give as many minutes to as possible, a guy who you think could be a star and really is going to be your third option. It's interesting because, Kuz has always had to kind of play against these hurdles because, like I said, last year he played with LeBron and Ingram, and before they moved Ingram to that shooting guard, he was playing behind those two players. He had to play out of position a lot. So it's kind of interesting, though, to see that Kuz has had such a successful career so far in doing so, really playing out of position, because all of these other young stars, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, the team really caters to them, and they are playing, with everyone surrounding them. They are really the main focal point, and Kuz has never had that option. He's really kind of just have to be a team player and play wherever the team needed him and in whatever role they needed him to be. So it is pretty amazing that Kyle Kuzma has had such a successful career as he has had, and obviously, it's going to be a struggle finding him, finding the right position and spots for him. There's so many questions to whether he's going to start, come off the bench, but at the end of the day, I know Kuz is going to get the minutes. I know the coaching staff knows this has to be a priority during training camp, is kind of finding different rotations, finding different spots for him as well in the preseason and stuff as well, because that is going to be a big key for them, because they know that Kuz is going to have a big role with this team, and that if they are going to have the best chance at winning a championship, it's going to be because Kuz really elevates and takes his game to the next level. So I'm not too nervous about Kuz getting those minutes. Again, I do just kind of sympathize with him because he's never going to really get the minutes playing at that small forward position or in his best natural position, of course, unless we see guys like LeBron or someone else play out of position as well. But now, in terms of stat predictions for Kuz, I'm going to say that Kuz is going to average 17 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and that he's going to shoot 38% from 3. I know that then would make it his highest shooting percentage from 3 of his career, but I'm saying that for a few reasons. First of all, he's working with Lethal Shooter. He's apparently, really gotten that shot down. Lethal Shooter's been raving about his work ethic, raving about his shot. His shot looked really good when you saw him kind of practicing with Team USA. I really saw his three-point shot look like it had improved. So I think just from working on it from that point, I think it's going to have made a big improvement. And just from the fact that I think he's going to have a lot more open looks this season than he's had in the past. Just because we have such a deep team, we have so many knockdown shooters like Danny Green, like Avery Bradley, Quinn Cook, and then of course we have some superstars in LeBron James and Anthony Davis, also Dwight Howard, who's going to take up a lot defensively as well. So I think Kuz is going to get some better open looks from 3. So whether or not he's going to be able to knock them down is still technically remains to be seen, but I'm having faith in Kuz. I think he's been really killing it this offseason, really been putting in the work, and he's going to be getting those open looks to really prove that he can be a knockdown three-point shooter. Comment down below and let me know what you think Kyle Kuzma's stats are going to be this season, and also let me know what you think the biggest keys for Kuz are this year in order to make sure that he does become that third star for the Lakers. And you can also comment down below and let me know what player you would like to see next in this Lakers players preview. Like I said, we are going to be doing this up until the season starts, so comment down below and let me know which player you would like to see next. That is going to be it for Kyle Kuzma's player preview. Again, I just want to reiterate that I am so excited to see this guy play. I really do believe he can be a star, so I'm super excited, and I know a lot of Laker fans are as well. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a double thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe here on Chat Sports and the new Chat Sports Lakers YouTube channel as well. And until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye guys!